In the rich tapestry of Slavic folklore, few creatures are as fearsome as Zmi Gorinik, the three-headed dragon. This formidable beast, a symbol of overwhelming and destructive power, breathes fire and terrorizes the land. It is a name steeped in legend, a byword for an unstoppable force. It is therefore fitting that Ukrainian engineers, faced with the daunting task of defending their homeland, chose this very name for their latest creation. The Gorinik bomber is not a mythical creature, but a very real and potent weapon, a testament to the nation's resolve to fight back with every tool at its disposal, even those forged in the crucible of necessity and ingenuity. The Gorinik bomber represents a new chapter in Ukraine's strategic capabilities. It is a homemade, long-range unmanned bomber designed for a singular, critical purpose to strike deep behind enemy lines. Its targets are the arteries of the Russian war machine, including factories, military installations, and vital infrastructure. Operated by the elite 14th Separate Unmanned Aerial Vehicles Regiment, this aircraft has become one of the most talked-about innovations of the conflict. Its ability to deliver substantial payloads over vast distances gives Ukraine a reach it previously lacked, turning the tide in the asymmetrical battle of long-range strikes. It is more than just a weapon. It is a symbol of defiance. The core concept of the Gorinik is brilliantly simple, yet devastatingly effective. It is designed to perform two primary functions. Firstly, it operates as a conventional bomber, flying autonomously to a designated target to release its payload of powerful bombs. Secondly, in a final decisive act, it can perform a kamikaze dive, transforming the entire aircraft into a guided missile to ensure maximum damage. This dual capability makes it an incredibly versatile and unpredictable threat, forcing the enemy to contend with a weapon that can strike with precision from afar, and then deliver a final, crushing blow. It embodies the spirit of its namesake dragon in its relentless and multifaceted assault. The story of the Gorinik begins not in a state-sponsored design bureau, but with the resourcefulness of soldiers on the ground. The idea was born from a pressing need to retaliate against Russia's relentless long-range attacks. Ukrainian forces needed a cost-effective way to hit back, to make the aggressor feel the consequences of the war on its own territory. The Gorinik bomber is the answer to that call. It is a weapon born from the battlefield, conceived by those who understood the gaps in their own arsenal and possessed the creativity to fill them. It is a story of turning a simple idea into one of Ukraine's most impressive military achievements. The driving force behind this audacious project is a man known only by his call sign, Gorinik. He is not a career military officer or a weapons designer. Before the full-scale invasion, he was a successful Ukrainian businessman, far removed from the world of conflict. His journey into aviation began not as a military calling, but as a personal passion. During the quiet days of the COVID-19 pandemic, he decided to learn to fly, earning his private pilot's license and finding a sense of freedom in the open skies. This civilian skill, however, would soon become an invaluable asset in the defense of his country, proving that heroes can emerge from the most unexpected places. When Russia launched its full-scale invasion in 2022, Gorinik did not hesitate. He volunteered for military service, and his government connections saw him placed within Ukraine's prestigious Special Operations Forces. It was here he met Maxim, his former flight instructor. Maxim, a lifelong aviation enthusiast who had once trained to be a commercial pilot, had also joined the Special Operations Forces. Together, they found themselves working with small tactical Avenger UAVs. These drones, with their limited range and small payload, were useful, but not enough. The experience planted a seed in Gorinik's mind. What if they could build something bigger, something with real strategic power? The idea for a long-range bomber began to take shape in early 2023. While serving near the brutal front lines of Bakhmut, Gorinich started sketching out his vision. He envisioned a drone that could carry not just a few pounds of explosives, but heavy-duty aviation bombs. He knew it was an ambitious goal, but his determination was unshakable. He used his business acumen and connections to navigate the military bureaucracy, securing the necessary resources, a dedicated team of engineers, and, crucially, access to an army arsenal and a secluded training ground. It was a classic example of Ukrainian initiative, bypassing red tape to achieve a vital objective. However, the path was not without its obstacles. By mid-2023, Gorinich realized that the rigid structure of the Special Operations Forces was not the right environment for his unconventional project. He described the challenges as military-political in nature. To bring his vision to life, he needed more flexibility and autonomy. This led to a strategic transfer to a different, more adaptable unit, one that could accommodate the rapid, experimental nature of the bomber program. This move was crucial, allowing the Gorinich project to flourish and evolve from a bold idea into a fully operational and fearsome weapon system. The foundation of the Gorinich bomber is, remarkably, a French recreational aircraft. The team sourced a Sky Ranger, a popular ultralight plane created by Best Off Aviation. First launched in 1990, the Sky Ranger is typically found in the hands of hobbyist pilots, enjoyed for its simplicity and reliability. It is sold as a do-it-yourself kit for around $50,000, making it an incredibly cost-effective platform. Its lightweight frame, with an empty weight of just 250 kilograms and a wingspan of 9.5 meters, seemed an unlikely candidate for a strategic bomber. Yet, it was this very simplicity that made it the perfect canvas for the Ukrainian team's ambitious modifications. The transformation from a pleasure craft into an unmanned weapon of war required a complete overhaul. The first and most critical step was removing the need for a human pilot. Gorinich's team of engineers worked tirelessly to integrate a sophisticated autopilot system. This system had to be capable of managing every phase of a mission autonomously, from takeoff and navigation over hundreds of kilometers to the final approach and landing. They also installed military-grade navigation and communication systems to ensure the drone could operate effectively in a hostile electronic warfare environment, resisting jamming and maintaining contact with its operators. To give the bomber its strategic reach, the team had to address the Sky Ranger's limited fuel capacity. The standard 50-liter tank was nowhere near enough for deep strike missions. The engineers ingeniously redesigned parts of the aircraft to incorporate additional fuel tanks, dramatically extending its range and endurance. This allowed the Gorinich to fly deep into Russian-held territory, hold a position if necessary, and return to base. The next challenge was arming it. The team adapted the airframe to carry Soviet-era OFAB 120 aviation bombs, heavy, unguided munitions drawn from the Ukrainian Army's existing stockpiles. This clever use of legacy weapons combined with modern technology is a hallmark of Ukraine's wartime innovation. This complex conversion was a masterpiece of teamwork and improvisation. A small, dedicated group of engineers, led by a businessman-turned-soldier and his flight instructor, achieved what large defense corporations might take years to develop. They worked in makeshift workshops, solving complex engineering problems with limited resources. The result is a weapon that is not only effective but also highly economical, allowing Ukraine to deploy a strategic capability at a fraction of the cost of conventional systems. The Gorinich bomber is a powerful statement about the power of human creativity when fueled by a desperate need to survive and defend one's freedom. The Gorinich bomber is not an isolated marvel. It is a leading example of a much broader wave of military innovation sweeping across Ukraine. Since the conflict escalated, the nation has become a laboratory for modern warfare, developing and deploying a dazzling array of homegrown technologies. This creative surge is born out of necessity, transforming Ukraine from a recipient of foreign aid into a pioneer of defense solutions. From AI-powered automated air defense turrets that can identify and engage enemy drones to advanced sea drones capable of targeting ships and even aircraft, Ukrainian ingenuity is reshaping the battlefield in real time. This campaign of innovation is having a tangible impact. The Gorynek alone is credited with causing billions of dollars in damage to Russian assets, striking targets that were once considered safe. Its destructive power was indirectly highlighted on the 29th of August, 2025, when a Ukrainian strike obliterated a major Russian drone distribution hub in occupied Donetsk. Among the thousands of drones destroyed were models of the Gorynek, indicating that Russia had captured some and was attempting to reverse engineer the formidable weapon. This shows not only the bomber's effectiveness, but also its significance as a high-value target for the enemy. The strategic strikes enabled by the Gorynek and other long-range systems are a core part of Ukraine's current military strategy. In September 2025, for instance, Ukrainian forces successfully hit a critical Russian ammunition depot in Luhansk Oblast and a sophisticated S-400 air defense system deep inside Russia's Kaluga Oblast. These strikes disrupt supply lines, degrade air defenses, and sow chaos far from the front lines. They demonstrate Ukraine's growing ability to project power and hold high-value Russian assets at risk, fundamentally changing the strategic calculus of the war and bringing the reality of the conflict back to the aggressor. Ultimately, the story of the Gorynek bomber is a story about the unyielding spirit of a nation under siege. It shows how ordinary citizens, businessmen, pilots, and engineers can rise to an extraordinary challenge, turning their skills and passions towards the collective goal of national defense. This spirit of innovation, this refusal to be outmatched, is Ukraine's most potent weapon. It ensures that, for every challenge the country faces, there are determined minds working on a solution. The Gorynek, a dragon born of myth and forged in war, is a powerful symbol of Ukraine's resolve to defend its skies and secure its future.